Brzezinski for Brevard Sports Network here today on the campus of Astronaut High School, where we are checking out the Astronaut War Eagles. There you see them on the screen, led by head coach Justin Worden. Astronaut comes into this season looking to replace some players. They've got some solid returners. We're going to talk to Tony Caito. We're going to talk to Jacroy Waddell. And, of course, we're going to talk to Coach Justin Worden. The Astronaut War Eagles last season were 5-3 playing over in Division II in Brevard County. They played in that championship game against Satellite for the D2 championship. They return this year back into district play. The program in the last 10 years is 48-58. Coach Worden is, if you stop and think about this program and you look at the history of this program, Jay Donnelly, Benny Boyd, Bill Shields, Steve Hackett, Randy Halleck, and Justin Worden, the only coaches the program has ever had since its inception in 1972. We're here with quarterback DB Tony Caito. Tony, I got to ask you, man, how good is it to be back out here on the field, first day of school? You know what, does it feel normal?
Not really, since we had that short break and we barely got to work out this summer. But yeah, it's feel good to be back out here and get some contact.
Tell me a little bit about your team this year, man. I know from the offensive side of the football, I think you guys are always going to be what you're going to be. You're going to punch people in the mouth. You're going to run the football. Talk a little bit about being a quarterback in a system where, you know what, you're going to run 90% of the time.
Yeah, it feels good being a quarterback here because I fit in the offense well. The O-line, I know they're going to block this year because we got some big boys up front. And the running backs, I got good backup this year again, too, for help. And everything all good this year.
So, the big question for this program is in the backfield. Talk about the guys that are going to step up and make sure that Abe Torres' yards are replaced besides yourself, because you were the second leading rusher last year. We know about your yards. But who are the guys that are going to step up and take over the reins back there in that backfield?
Nigel, he can run really good. Against Melbourne, he got a bunch of yards with an unexperienced O-line. We weren't really experienced.
Right.
And Larry Lee, he can run too. He another one I trust because I've had him since my sophomore year. I've been handing him the ball. Then we got Paul Henry. He another good one, but he just got to keep his. Yeah, we got three of them.
Talk about that offensive line. It's always been a staple. You got Mr. Waddell up front, who was a finalist last year for BSN Offensive Lineman of the Year. Talk about those guys.
Oh, those boys get after in the weight room and everything. We all work hard, put a bunch of work in so we can win these games and make it to the playoffs.
Tony, I think you entered the season this year as a candidate for BSN Athlete of the Year, what you do on the football field, what you do on the basketball court. Talk a little bit about now it's your senior season. What are your hopes, goals, and expectations for you this year?
My expectations is this year in every sport, basketball, at least make it back to the playoffs. Football, make it the third round, play Coco again. Track, make states and get first this year and gold medal. And everybody else got the same goal as me for football.
How about college? You want to get what sport do you want to play in college, or would you play them both?
I do football in college, and that'd be if they give me something for track, that I'd do track too, but mostly football.
You got anything narrowed down yet? You looking anywhere?
I've had a few schools text me. Navy's texting me.
Who was that?
Navy.
Navy, okay.
Mercer, Valpo up in Indiana, my home state.
Okay, all right. That'd be
Yeah.
something to get up there and play, wouldn't it? Well, what's one thing that everybody needs to know about the 2021 Astronaut War Eagles as we get set? Kickoff classics in 13 days, 12 days, whatever it is. What do we need to know about this football team this year as we get set to enter the season?
We coming for it all. We ain't stepping down for nobody this year.
Tony Caito, senior quarterback for the Astronaut War Eagles. I am standing here with senior defensive lineman as well. He was a candidate, a finalist last year for Brevard Sports Network Offensive Lineman of the Year for the Astronaut War Eagles, Jacroy Waddell. He's going to lead that charge up front for these guys. And Jacroy, first of all, what's it like blocking in an offense where you know going in, no matter what, you're going to run the football 95% of the time?
I mean, all we could do, like in practice, we run it a lot, like we run it. So you have to get your body prepped for it, like throughout the week. So like when Friday come, you gotta know, like soon, like we know we know what play we gonna run first play. So like that first play, we try to hit them, like so we trying to score the first play, like
You know it's coming.
yeah, we know it's coming. So like when cause I play guard, and when I pull, I just try to that linebacker, he about to have his head on his shoulder, cause I'm coming.
I love that answer. What did you do this? I mean, you look nice. You look good, lean, fit. Working out this summer. What'd you do during the off season to be the guy this year that's going to capture that offensive lineman of the year award?
See, like this whole summer I was going to a lot of camps. Like, I was barely in Florida. Like I ain't like I'm a family person. I was barely able to spend time with my family because like I was working out, trying to make sure I'm right for my team and like me for in the future. And like Coach Help here, like when he get off work, he come out here help me. Like we out here working. That's what a lot of people don't understand. They say, "Oh, astronaut this that," but they don't understand that we really out here working. So like I just hope they not counting us out this year. We go surprise them.
Ain't nobody. Those first three games, big games. You got O'Galley, you got Merritt Island coming up. What can we look for in those first three games to know that everything is going according to plan for Astronaut?
You could, matter of fact, we got a lot of actually we have a lot of underdogs on our team. It's not just like I'm not like
You ain't an underdog, man. You're one of the best players in the county.
look, I'm a captain, right? Tony a captain. We got other teams on our team that I consider like I can call them captain. Like if I know if I get hurt or something like that, I know they right there. Like yeah, we got like we might seem like a small team, but all us got heart. That's one thing. Like everybody just like they might just come in. Oh, we finna do this to astronaut. All right, they think that, but our whole team has heart. All right, like I already know.
We talked to Tony, we talked to Coach about it. The guy that's going to break out this year in that backfield and chew up a lot of yards that Abe captured last season.
I mean,
Who is it?
all
Or is it all?
all our backs, I got faith in them that they go run. Like me and my back, I'm the pulling guard. So like me and our backs, like we have like we got chemistry. So like I know I tell them I be like y'all see my body turn this way, cut that way. Y'all see my body turn this way, cut that way. Just be running. All our backs, they're young, but they're kind of experienced. I like all them. They go get right.
Nobody, and I'll tell you what, and there's film of him pulling right now. You pull so fast. I love the way you pull and get out front and are physical. Let's talk about defense a little bit because you like getting in there and knocking heads on defense a little bit. This is a team, this is a program that wants to punch you in the mouth defensively and dominate you offensively. Talk about your defense.
Defense, really, that's like in my eyes, that's my prime position. Like that's what like me growing up, that's my prime position. Like when I go to college, I'm gonna play defense 9 out of 10. So like really, defense is like our defense is just like you got to make sure you be in your gap. That's one thing that like they preach that every day. Make sure you be in your gap because you in your gap like it. That determines the football game. Really, honestly, I know it's like something simple, but the small things are like big things that other people are like. You have to make sure you're in your gap. Everything like.
How cool is it to finally be a senior, walk out here, first day of school, you go through those doors. You're it, man. Class of 2022, you're a senior this year. What's it mean to you to be out here as a senior?
It means a lot, but I really don't want it to end. Like these coaches that like last night I was just thinking I was up late last night. I know it's bad. I was up late last night. I was just thinking like it's like last day of high school. Like I'm finna be going college on my own. Like and these coaches really taught me a lot. Like everybody, like they're like family to me. Like me, like growing up, it was like some things was hard for me, like, cause I'm not from here. I'm from like Polk County way.
Gotcha.
So a lot of things were like hard for me. But my mom, like she made sure like she owned me, like everything. Like my path could have been somewhere else, but I made sure I stayed on the right path for my family, cause like like I said, I'm a family person. So like one day I just wish to take care of them. So my main focus, come out here, do everything I can to get better every day, and make sure I'm a student athlete.
I love that. A student athlete. What's one thing, as we get set to wrap up here, what's one thing we need to know either about you or this football team as we get set to kick off in about 12 days?
It ain't no me and team. Well, it kind of is, but not really.
Yeah, I got you.
But just don't count us out. I'm going to tell this to everybody. Everybody that we play, I'm going to tell y'all, like, y'all looking at this the same way I'm going to look at this later. Don't count us out. Just know we coming for it all this shit. That's all I got to say.
I love the bravado. I love the swag. But you know what I love even more is the work ethic of this program. It's hard-nosed, punch in the face, they grind. For Jacroy Waddell, I'm Alan Slaughters. Hey, here with head coach Justin Worden. And coach, what is it like to be back out here with, I wouldn't call it normalcy, but you got student athletes out here, first day of school, got them on the field. Does that help? Just help overall?
Yeah, definitely. I think, and I told some people in the building, after last year and all the extra stuff, you almost feel a little burnt out, which you hate to say it, but you just all the extra paperwork, documentation stuff. So to be able to come and just come from school to practice and be able to practice with minimal stuff that we got extra is definitely a blessing.
Coach, I tell you, one of the big questions obviously facing the program this year is replacing a guy like an Abe Torres. Obviously, you don't replace him, but you got players that can get back there and get the job done. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I think, the one nice thing is we have an established offense, so we'll be able to kind of do some of the things we've done. But like you alluded to, finding the guys to be that guy, and it's something I think in the preview you guys said it too, just a little bit by committee. Tony's a good runner at quarterback, so we can utilize him. We got 3 or 4 guys that we think can carry the ball, and a lot of those guys are going to have to grow up on the job. But I really think that's the story of our whole program this year. We got a lot of new faces, a lot of young guys that are kind of growing into their position as they go.
Coach, to do as much winning as you've done, and this blew my mind when I was doing my research, to watch the way that you run your offense and to see how much you run the football and how effectively you run the football. I mean, it's not like the opposition doesn't know what Astronaut's going to do. You're going to play good defense, and you're going to run the ball down their throat. How do you sell that year in and year out?
I think it's kind of a pride thing. You look at astronaut football, you go as far back as 72 when they started, and it's always been defense and run the football. And I think inherently, if you're going to be a defense and run the football team, you got to be real mentally tough. And that's something we just try and hang our hats on as coaches. And you can see the kids, they'll push themselves till they got to sit down for a second. There's no one letting them let up. They hold each other accountable. So, when you got the kids wanting to dog each other a little bit and get more out of each other and compete, and it really goes a long ways.
What's the biggest obstacle for you this year? I'm looking at, you got good numbers, obviously, the first day of practice. What's your biggest obstacle this year besides COVID?
I think it's just keeping those numbers. With COVID last year, there's so many reasons why maybe you miss a practice or you skipped a day of school, or just getting rid of some of those built-in excuses that aren't built in anymore, and just the accountability that comes with that. And then I think, again, just our age, we're going to have some good seniors, but we're really going to lean heavily on a bunch of young guys.
For those that don't know, in this county, there is a very storied tradition of football up here, from 72 to Jay Donnelly, and then into Randy Halleck. And then you played for Coach Halleck. Talk about that pride and tradition here.
I think we really got something, and I can't speak for other schools because I don't know, but I think pretty much every coach on our varsity staff, maybe give one, is an astronaut grad. They played here. They played for Coach Donnelly. They played for Coach Shields. They played for Coach Halleck. So, you carry a little extra chip on your shoulder. This is home. So anytime you got a chance to do something for home, it's a lot easier to have that mentality where we're going to go out on our shield because we're doing it for, the people who kind of formed us, raised us, and did right by us as we came up.
I tell you, astronaut football, and again, you're seeing highlights there, old and new, on your screen. Coach is just the 6th head coach in program history. When you stop and think about some of the programs in this county, they've had 6 in the last 10 years. So that's definitely saying something. Coach, if everything's going well for Astronaut this year, I know Coach speak and game at a time, but if everything's going well for you this year, where do you expect to be?
I think we have the ability to make the playoffs. I told the kids we got a good stretch. We got Centennial in the kickoff classic. They beat us the last couple times they've seen us. They're a much bigger school. And then we start with O'Galley, Melbourne, Merritt Island. And I think all 3 of them are they're the better programs in the county. There's that top 5 or 6 tier. And I'd say they're all arguably there. So if we can get through that first stretch of 3 games at 2-1 or 3-0, we could really set ourselves up to do some special stuff. And then the 2 weeks before Titusville, we play 1A runner-up Hawthorne, and then we got West Nassau, who, to me, on film looks kind of like what Astronauts always prided itself on. They're gonna punch you in the face. So I think we got a good start where we can really tell where we're at, and we got a good finish to wrap up to tell where we're at. So if we get off to a good start, I expect us to be a playoff football team.
You look a couple of years ago in 2018, this was a team a lot of people said, 500 would be great. But they ended up going 10-2, and I'll tell you what, keep your eye on those first 3 games, as Coach Worden said. they will be the telltale sign for the Astronaut War Eagles in 2021.